The year's first Grand Slam Australian Open starts today. Novak Djokovic returns despite an injury concern. So does Rafael Nadal. But what really to expect from some of our top stars? I'm joined by Sony Sports expert Somdev Devvarman on the show at this hour. Som, thank you very much for joining us. The first thing I shall have to ask you is about Novak Djokovic. He had a couple of injuries in the lead up to the Australian Open, but really he is one of those everyone's expecting to win after he's come back, not having played last time around. What's your take on Djokovic's return?
Well, Rika, first of all, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. Happy New Year to all our viewers and to you. But in terms of Novak, it's hard to say. Is he injured? Okay, let's just say that. Is he 100%? He's not 100%. Is he injured, or how injured is he? I think he'll be able to play. Obviously, when it comes to guys like Novak and Rafa, especially at this stage in their careers, all they're really focused on is the slams. So, he's not going to leave any stone unturned to get back to what he would believe would be in the shape that would require him to win the tournament. And also, I think he's, super hungry based on what happened last year. The fact that he couldn't get into Australia, he couldn't defend his title, a place where he's had, massive amounts of success, winning 9 times. So, is he hurt? Yeah, probably a little hurt. Might be the knee, might be the hamstring. I think people tend to forget that he's 35 years old. It's not exactly young, especially when you're looking at being at the top of your game, being at the top of your physicality. But if anyone can overcome it, it's probably Novak.
So there are a few stalwarts who won't be there. Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Naomi Osaka. Do you think that'll take the sheen out of the tournament?
No, absolutely not. I mean, is it unfortunate? Yes, because I think the whole world loves watching Alcaraz. The way he's come out in 2022, winning the US Open, winning the tournament, becoming #1 in the world. I think it's absolutely incredible. He's also super electric. I think he's great for the game. It's something new that all of us love to watch. The firepower that he plays with, the intensity that he plays with, the adrenaline that you can feel almost just watching him on TV. And I think yes, will that be missed? No question at all. However, last year Novak Djokovic wasn't in the tournament. So these kind of things happen. I don't think we need to look too deep into it. It's unfortunate he got that leg injury during a practice match. Naomi Osaka is a different story. I think one really has to kind of hope that she's going to be okay. And I mean, again, she's young. She's already won 4 Grand Slams. She's a superstar of the game. So for her to be missing is a, it's a little bit of a downer. But I mean, that being said, one door closes for one, another opens for different players, and you're going to see a lot of different players, making their, looking at this as a massive opportunity to make their breakthrough. So yeah, I think it's regardless of who's missing. I mean, with Venus, obviously it's unfortunate, but was she a favorite? She was never a favorite. And of course, with Serena, we knew what to expect. So yeah, I do think that the tournament's still going to be incredibly exciting.
Okay, let me ask you, are we prepared for a life after Serena Williams?
Life after Serena Williams. Well, it's going to be strange not to see Serena up there, contending for every slam. But I mean, I think it's important to understand that, people move on, people grow up. Serena, in her case, I mean, has a lot going on. She's got a beautiful daughter in Olympia. And I'm sure that, she's not the kind of player, similar to Roger, they're not the kind of players to just hang around and play events. They want to play events. They want to be contending at the big events. And if they feel like they're not there, then it doesn't really make sense for them to continue playing, being 20, 30 in the world. So, again, these are all-time greats. With Serena, with Roger, you're talking about absolute all-time greats. Will we miss them? Surely. There's no question about the fact that we'll miss these great players and the excitement and the energy and, the performances that they've given us through their lifetime. But sometimes it's just time to go.
As fans, should we make peace with the fact that Serena Williams stops at slam number 23?
This is it. I mean, that's the same way we're going to have to stop with Roger. But yes, unfortunately, the fairy tale of their professional careers has ended. But with Serena and as well as with Roger, I mean, both of them are extremely entrepreneurial. They're extremely, they have a lot of ambition. So whatever it is that they're going to do, obviously they're going to be connected to tennis. They can't help not be connected to tennis. With how great figures, with the kind of figures that they've been for the game. So I'm just looking forward to seeing, what's next. I'm sure it's going to be great.
So I'll have to ask you about our Indian great Sania Mirza, who has said that this is going to be her last slam. She has also picked a Kazakh doubles partner. What do you feel about her chances? Is she expected to go deep into the tournament?
I mean, again, this is not a surprise. Sania kind of announced it a year ago at the Aussie that this was going to be kind of her last season. She's 36 years old too. People forget, and she's got a beautiful baby boy, who's not a baby anymore. But anyway, I think with Sania as well, first things about this tournament, I think she's done a great job picking a great partner. Anna Danilina is right around the top 10 or 11 in the world, so she's obviously playing really well. As is Sania, who's picked it back up close to the 20s. For Sania, this is going to be the last hurrah. But the way I look at her is every single time she's on the court, she always has a chance to win, regardless of who she's playing with, regardless of if it's doubles or if it's mixed. I think let's not forget the mixed is yet to be decided. She's going to have to pick her partner, and we'll know in the next few days who she's going to play with. She's certainly going to be in the tournament, and she's certainly going to have a very dangerous partner. The question is who. With Danilina as well, I think she's one of those players that complements Sania's game. She plays the ad court beautifully. The two of them together will be hard to beat, especially with Sania now probably feeling like she has nothing to lose going into her last Grand Slam, which is what really matters to her. And by looking at her career, for me, it's just a celebration. Everything she's done, for me, it's maybe a little bit more personal because we kind of grew up together in the 12s, 14s, 16s. The national circuit. We went abroad together. We played our, first few slams together, and she won Wimbledon. All of us were not that good in juniors. And then she just really took off. She just took off to the next step. Always, 2-3 years after that, by that point, she'd already won, tour events in singles and doubles, being top 30 in the world in singles. It's incredible what Sania has achieved. For me, it's proud to be able to call her my friend. And when I look back at her career, for me, everything is a celebration because, she's done it all against the odds.
Indeed, Som. I'll have to ask you one final question. After a long time, there isn't any Indian in the singles draw. What does it mean for tennis in India, and why is there such a yawning gap?
Well, we have to start by addressing the elephant in the room, is that we as a nation are not doing enough for player development. And it's clear. It's clear to see. It's not the fact that we don't have a single men's player inside 300, which, I don't remember the last time that's happened. I've been playing 15 to 20 years ago, and it's disheartening to see that we are not that good. Could it be a little bit of luck? Yes. Sumit Nagal is coming through a hip injury. He's looking better. Ram Kumar had the worst professional season in his singles last year. Will he come back stronger? Yes, he will. Prajnesh is, he could be playing good tennis as well, but he's a little older. But my problem is, why are we still relying on the same group of people? Yuki is now retired, so, he's done his work. Lean on them in order to develop the right way, in order to take the right steps professionally. It's one thing to be, nationally ranked or ranked high in the juniors in Asia or something like that. But it's completely a different thing to be able to be mature enough and ready enough for the pro circuit. And the sad truth is right now we aren't.
For now, Sania Mirza remains our only hope at the Australian Open this year. Thank you very much, Som, for joining us on the broadcast at this hour.